I'm Allendale's chief meteorologist Ryan Martin with a look at your midday weather update. So, the latest noon model run maps are out, and anybody want to take a guess at what they are? Anyone? That's right, they're colder again. So the flip-flopping continues on the GFS. One run warmer, one run colder. You know what? When you see this over a period of days, going all the way back into last week, what's the smart thing to do? Throw the model out, at least when you're looking at, things on a day-by-day basis. Let's talk about what we know here with the cool air coming this week. First of all, it will be cold. We are definitely going to be seeing a very chilly air mass outbreak over the northern part of the United States. This mass comes in two waves. We kind of outlined this morning in our online model write-up, where, by the way, you can also get the Allendale frost maps that we've made this morning of where the concern is. But this will come in two waves. The first one Wednesday night, Thursday night, and that one will be definitely predicated on cold air coming right in over parts of eastern Montana, the western Dakotas and such. And then a second wave that'll come Friday night into early Saturday. That'll bring the coolest air into the upper Midwest, northwestern Corn Belt. The way I see things working here on the latest GFS model run is, it's still got cool air in, and, we're splitting hairs as to whether or not it's cooler farther south or not. What you really have to look at here is what happens before the cool air comes in. And this is one thing where the GFS actually has been somewhat consistent, and that is we've got some decent moisture coming ahead of time. As the front moves through the northern plains and into the western Corn Belt from tomorrow night on through Wednesday, we're still seeing rain totals over Iowa. 1 to 3 inches of rain. We're going to be seeing some of that push up into Minnesota, into Wisconsin as well. So I'm looking at keeping my rainfall totals over the western and northwestern Corn Belt the same, 1 to 3 inches as we go through this week. And I actually am going to kind of take the heavier rain a bit farther south down into central southern Illinois as well as we go through the day Wednesday. And we're actually going to be seeing the heaviest precipitation come right across areas where the coldest air, supposedly, is supposed to hit via the GFS. So to say that we're looking at colder air coming in is a little bit of a misnomer, because we're still going to have plenty of cloud cover in. That cloud cover will be going away probably by the time we get to Friday night, Saturday morning. But there's going to be plenty of moisture in the soil profile. That adds a couple degrees as well. So there's no need, at least in my opinion, to change my forecast. Here, the Allendale forecast for frost as we go through midday, and we're just seeing some typical GFS model flip-flopping here. You be prepared for that. Be prepared for the model to say it's probably going to be a little bit more moderate as we go through the overnight tonight, and then as we get up tomorrow, we're going to flip-flop it back the other way. It's just the way it's going to go. We have some other models that are continuing to show the cool air as well, so it's no surprise it's coming. Right now, the GFS and the Canadian are the coldest. The European model is the most moderate of all of them. And when it comes to cold weather outbreaks, I think you've heard me say this before, I'll take the European model anytime. But just be prepared to continue to see some flip-flopping here in how the trade views this. We will see more flip-flopping on the GFS. So the moisture stays the same at midweek. The front stays the same. Timing looks good. I think we're looking at 1 to 3 inches of rain, as we said, over the western and northwestern Corn Belt with coverage about 80 to 90%. I think the farther south and east you go, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, probably going to be taking that moisture range back down to about 0.5 to 1.5 inches with coverage about 70 to 80%. So everybody gets rain. It's just the heaviest is farther north and west. And we'll follow that up with cool air. Now, here's the thing. The worst day or the worst time frame for frost is going to be there initially as we go through the end of the week. Whether you're in the northern plains or in the upper Midwest, it's going to vary from Thursday night to Friday night, overnight. But what we aren't really talking much about here is the fact that even though the frost risk is one night, this cool air mass wants to stick around for a while. We kind of highlighted that this morning in our morning write-up as well. And the latest model runs give no reason to take that and throw it out. We're going to see temperatures below normal probably through most of next week, through at least midweek. Our next weather system will start to push in probably as we go through the second half of next week. It's very scattered. It's not exceptionally well organized. Puts down its best moisture around the 17th, 18th into Kansas, and we think some of that will try and move eastward then out into Missouri, and it should bring some warmer air in. But between now and then, temperatures are going to be below normal, slowly gravitating back closer to normal through that time frame. So, if you've got concerns about crop maturity, crop dry down, this latest run of the models doesn't do anything to address that much at all. As a matter of fact, spreading the cooler air out over a longer period definitely is going to mean that we're looking at dry down issues and maybe rearing their head again. The good news is we're not going to be adding a lot more rain to the forecast. Yeah, the heavy rain, the western Corn Belt, northwestern Corn Belt will be there, but it doesn't look like we have an excessive amount coming again, say, the middle or end of next week. We do have a good system that probably tries to work in toward the end of the forecast period, 24th, 25th or so, but we won't be bringing a lot of new moisture in. It's just we're talking with cooler temperatures, we're talking slower dry down time frames, and of course the maturity question as well. So there's probably something to consider there with this latest run. But other than that, no reason to change the forecast at all. And actually, right now, that's not even a change from our forecast this morning. So frost will continue to be looked at through the rest of this week. Stay tuned. Tomorrow morning, we'll give you another update of what we see. But right now, our forecast stays the same. If you've got any questions, give us a shout at Allendale. I'm Chief Meteorologist Ryan Martin.